From the Bible's Nephilim to the Norse frost giants, from the towering Rakshosis of India to the enormous ogres of European fairy tales, giants loom large in the world's myths. They are described as beings of immense size and strength, sometimes wise, sometimes monstrous, often dwelling on the edges of the human world. Most treat these tales as symbolic representations of human fears, hubris, or the power of nature. But what if giants were not just allegories? What if mythical giants were remnants of a forgotten human lineage? Science already acknowledges that we were not alone in our evolutionary past. Just 50,000 years ago, the Earth was home to multiple human species. Neanderthals roamed Europe and Western Asia. Denisovans lived across parts of Asia, their DNA still found in modern people. Homo floresiensis, the so-called hobbit, stood barely 3 feet tall, discovered on the Indonesian island of Flores. Our family tree is not a single trunk, but a branching forest. Could one of those branches have grown taller, stronger, and stranger, giving rise to the legends of giants? Fossil evidence sparks speculation. In parts of Asia and Africa, enormous bones have been unearthed, often misidentified by locals as belonging to giants. Many of these were actually the remains of mammoths or mastodons, but others hint at something else. Massive femurs and skull fragments discovered in ancient digs sometimes appear larger than any modern human. While mainstream science often attributes these to measurement errors or extinct the possibility of an oversized hominid lineage lingers. Mythology provides tantalizing clues. In the Bible, the Nephilim were mighty men of old, offspring of divine beings and human women. In Greek legend, the Gigantes fought against the gods in battles that shook the earth. Norse sagas tell of Jotun, frost giants, living in remote mountains. Polynesian traditions describe enormous ancestors who built megalithic structures. These myths arose independently across cultures, yet all describe humans of enormous size and strength. Coincidence or memory? Even in relatively recent history, explorers and settlers recorded tales of giant skeletons unearthed in burial mounds across North America. 19th century newspapers frequently published accounts of skeletons 8 or 9 feet tall. While most of these reports were likely exaggerated or misinterpreted, their sheer number raises questions. Were they all fabrications, or did some preserve echoes of a reality now dismissed? From a biological standpoint, gigantism in humans is possible. Even today, rare individuals grow to heights over 8 feet due to genetic conditions. Imagine a population where such traits were common, amplified by isolation and selective pressures. Over generations, a group of humans might evolve into a race of true giants, adapted to specific environments, such as cold northern climates or high mountains. Their great size would inspire awe and fear in smaller neighboring groups. Encounters with them would be preserved in oral traditions, growing into the myths we know today. The cultural role of giants suggests more than fantasy. Giants are often described as builders raising massive walls, moving stones no ordinary human could lift. This detail appears in legends tied to real megalithic structures, from Stonehenge to the Cyclopean walls of Greece, from the statues of Easter Island to the colossal stone terraces of South America. Archaeologists explain these as human achievements, but to ancient people, attributing them to giants made sense. After all, who else could move stones weighing dozens of tons? So what if giants were remnants of a forgotten human lineage? Then the stories are not mere exaggerations, but cultural memories of neighbors strange, towering, powerful, who lived alongside our ancestors. Their eventual disappearance could be explained by climate change, interbreeding, or even conflict with Homo sapiens. As the last giants faded, their memory solidified into legend, exaggerated but rooted in truth. The implications would be profound. It would mean our species was shaped not in isolation but in a world shared with others both smaller and larger than ourselves. It would challenge our sense of human uniqueness, reminding us that we are one thread in a larger tapestry of human forms. And it would transform myths of giants from fairy tales into faint echoes of a lost chapter in our evolutionary history. Perhaps that is why the stories endure. Giants remind us of the possibility that our ancestors once looked up literally at others who walked the earth beside them. They remind us that history is not always written in books or fossils, but in stories told around fires, of beings so great they seemed larger than life. So when we hear of the Nephilim, the Jatan, or the builders of colossal stones, perhaps we are not only hearing myths, perhaps we are hearing the footsteps of giant Swanth, real, now forgotten, still echoing through time.